My name's Byrne. I'm one of the founders of PIN IoT. We have developed a supply chain visibility platform that tracks mobile assets. Physical things that move around global supply chains, things like containers, bins, skips, tools, things like that.
My name is Gkiokas. I am the co-founder of Mechion.
Hi, I'm Paterson, director of Orb, and we're developing a smart mouthguard that collects biometric data that's not currently available on the sports playing field.
So hi, I'm Mowat. I'm CEO of Vesta Smart Packaging. We're a new startup. We have the intention of helping manufacturers and consumers as well reduce the amount of plastic they're using in the provision of the products that form a big part of their daily lives.
Hello, my name is Ahmed and our startup is SweepTech. SweepTech is a robotics company which actually provides robotic solutions for airports.
Our solution involves a combination of hardware and software. So hardware devices attached to the industrial asset. The software takes the raw data from the devices and processes it into actionable insight that the customer can use to drive value.
Right now what we do is look at the emotional state of the people the system is observing over a long period of time. And what we achieve by doing that is actually look at the time frame of emotional, let's call them spikes, or key indicators of concern, of major concern or minor concern. And we collect all that data, which is, by the way, it's not visual data, it's just metadata. And we are doing, we're about to start doing clinical trials with a few hospitals and see how that data can be correlated to predicting dementia or having a look and see if someone's already been diagnosed with dementia, if his or her condition is getting worse, if it's stable, if they are dealing with it, and so on. And this is basically a platform of sorts. So there's an endpoint that collects the data, and then there's a platform, a back end that does all the processing and creates the reports and the analytics and the insights.
Our mouthguard encompasses a number of sensors that collects biometric data. With this, we can inform coaches and players how to best improve their fitness and prevent injuries.
The core unit of a Vesta is actually the package itself. It is able to record its own content, to know when it's empty, and to automate, based on a series of algorithms we've built into our platform, a refill. So when people run out, they get to reorder before they even know they've run out.
Some of the main functionalities of the product is first, it does autonomous motion planning. So we have different modes depending on how much time we have between the flights. So we only scan when the aircraft stand is empty. So when our aircraft just leaves the stand, we have between 3 to 5 minutes before the next aircraft comes. If we have enough time, we do a motion planning with detailed patterns, so we can cover each and every meter in the aircraft stand. If we don't, we just cover the areas which are expected to be under the aircraft engines and the tires to save time. Basically, it starts with motion planning. Computer vision will then try to track any debris it finds. If it finds something, it goes and collects it. If the debris is larger than the size of the robot's capacity, it just reports it to the operators, because if there is a large object, no one is allowed to pick it up because it could be a part of an aircraft. So these are regulations that we just follow at the airports. So once we collect the debris, it comes back, it puts it in a debris compartment on board on the robot, and then once it's done, the operator can actually remove the compartment and then get rid of the debris in the debris bin at each aircraft stand. Also, this robot, after it's done from scanning, it provides debris analytics regarding the size, the location, and the material of the debris it found to help airports in the future to prevent the sources of debris.
The technology that we're using is new, so previous wireless technology has not been able to track assets of this type. The only historical alternative has been cellular GPS, which is obviously the technology we use in our mobile phones, which is too expensive. But most importantly, it's too power hungry for a physical asset that has no independent power. And so there's no viable battery solution that's enabled this to happen in any commercially applicable way historically. So we're using low power networks. They're in the process of being laid down globally. So you couldn't really have done what we're doing before now. That's the first thing. The second thing is we are deep industry experts, so we understand in detail the industry sectors in which this solution will deliver value, how they work operationally, but also how they think, and how to enable and deliver a product that will result in successful change in industry environments that don't like change very much and that are traditionally resistant to new technology.
There isn't a similar product on the market like what we have yet, and I'm aware that there are other startups that are working on very similar things. There's one in Singapore which is taking a similar approach to ours, but tailored towards hospitals and clinics. There's another one in Spain which is doing something very similar, but right now what we're really trying to build, and what is truly unique about what we're doing, is that it's a very passive system with no let's say interference to a person's life. You don't have to wear it, you don't have to program it, you don't have to interact with it. You just put it on the wall and forget it's there, and it keeps working 24/7, continuously gathering the data, adapting to user behavior, and learning from the user behavior in order to come up with some, let's say, insights and analytics that are very specific to that specific person.
So our product collects data that's never been collected before on a playing field, and this is what we can use to give a competitive advantage to the teams that use our device.
What makes us unique at the moment is that actually there's nobody else out there like us. More specifically, we're looking to disrupt a very well-established business model, which is essentially the sell-through model made by manufacturers to give them a chance to work more directly with their end users and provide a better service.
What makes our product unique is actually a question we need to look for what our competitors actually do. So when you look at our competitors, their products are basically a bunch of radars and AI cameras spread over runways to detect objects on the runway. Our competitors only focus on detecting debris on airports' runways, and they only detect, they do not collect, even though they do the detection autonomously. We are the first to provide an autonomous solution that does both detecting and collection for the other areas of the airfield, like the hangars area, aircraft stands, and the passenger boarding bridge path. So that bridge actually stretches out with the help of some wheels. We actually scan the path of these wheels, and we are the first one to provide an autonomous solution that does everything, from detection to collecting and providing analytics.
What we like about Startupbootcamp IoT is its specific vertical focus. We incorporated our company where we're from, in the northwest of England. There is not much of an IoT ecosystem in that part of the world. There is a real network around this program that can add tangible and substantial value to what we're doing by challenging all of the fundamental assumptions that we've made, and that is a big deal to us, very relevant. We already have customer projects, and so we're in a position where we need to reshape the product and improve the product based on that feedback and get ourselves to a point where we're investment ready. The timing of the program is perfect to enable us to do that whilst taking in a massive amount of expertise that gives us the best chance of realising our ambition to make a successful business.
Our attitude towards Startup Bootcamp has changed dramatically since we actually started. We were a bit skeptical at first, but I realised that what they're doing here is truly amazing. From the mentoring and the workshops and the advice and the constant feedback and criticism, which is a necessary part. We found ourselves actually refining the idea, the approach, the technical bits as well as the business parts of the startup. And this is truly unique. I've never seen this before, I've never experienced this before. What we're actually expecting out of it is hopefully such a refined plan, business plan and technical let's say, scheme that will make it actually feasible and sustainable as a business, rather than, you know, taking risks or being on the borderline of this is going to succeed, this is going to fail.
What attracted us to the Startupbootcamp IoT is it's based in London, the fact that we've got access to enormous amounts of resources within the London area, great network of mentors, and we hope to have refined our business model as well as our hardware products.
What attracted us to Startupbootcamp in the first place is it's a specific IoT accelerator, and there's not very many of those around. It's great to be working in a cohort where everybody's got at least some shared challenges, and the access to a wide range of mentors, experts and coaches who are familiar with the type of business we want to do was one of the main reasons we applied.
So what attracted me to Startupbootcamp IoT program is actually the valuable partnerships they have. For example, when you're a startup that's dealing in the aviation industry and you see Startupbootcamp having a partner like Rolls-Royce, who's also similar in their business, they also deal with the aviation industry. It's good to learn from their experience too. The other thing is I like how Startupbootcamp IoT have a big experience in hardware development with startups. For example, when you look at their partners like RPD and these things, you believe that this is the right place to support a hardware startup like ours.